Hey folks, Carl here and welcome to another bench update. Okay folks, so what are we going to talk about today? There's a few things. First of all, some people have been asking how I mount my camera, so we're going to go through that. So what do I use? So my camera is a Sony Handycam and the model number is a HDR CX240. It's not an overly expensive camera, but you get reasonably good pictures, and the nice thing about this one is because we have it angled like this, we can tilt the camera so we can actually see the picture as we are recording. So that is the camera we use. You can see mounted on the bottom of here is the connection to the camera mount, which this one here, this one is a per gear, and you need to ensure you get one that will do a full 360-degree rotation. So we have the ball on the top that will spin, but it will only tilt in in one direction. That's not a link to a cheesy rock group. So it will only tilt in one direction, and there, but it will spin upon its base, and it will spin in any direction. So this will pretty much go anywhere that you want it. I will put a link to all of these bits in the description of the channel. So then we have a piece of 3/8 UNC threaded bar and a couple of 1/4 inch UNC nuts, and inside of here, if I can get it off, a pair of pliers here, there is a 1/4 inch to 3/8 crossover, which is also threaded onto that bar. You might just be able to see. I don't want to go and try and take this off because it's quite tight. And that, we have that crossover with that bar, so screws into the bottom of that, hand tight, so we have that arrangement. And then we have the boom arm itself, which again I will put the link down here. I think it's around about £10 off Amazon, and it just folds out like so. And we have the mounting bracket which goes onto the table, so this literally just sits in there like so, and this just, I tilt you down a little bit to there, this will literally just goes onto the table. It sits around about here. Let's just tighten it on like so. And then this sits inside there, and there's a little thing for tightening it up so we can hold it in position if we want to. So that is that. This comes with a bar in it for connecting a microphone into it, so it's got the little cup for the microphone. That is why we need to replace with the bar, and the bar literally just slides into place like so, and then we just tighten it up on there. Like that, and that will now move forward and back, and this will move in any direction we want to angle the camera. So I'm going to put you back up here. So this goes in to that, comes out like so, and then the camera is the bracket on the bottom which slides into there, and then we just tighten it on, and we can now put this camera wherever it is we want it. So that is how I set up, and it literally sits around about there, trying to look as much as I can at the center of my desk. So lens cover open, a little bit higher, so somewhere around about there. That's why sometimes if you see me in the Hangout or doing any more of these videos, this is sitting here and in the way. So that is that. So that is now ready to record. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, there's a buddy build coming up soon for Sam McCord from the ISM Live crew, and it is, I think Paul's called it top of the morning buddy build, and it's to build any Porsche vehicle, car, that you want to, and it is due to start, I think it's the 18th, which is this coming Friday. So I am going to be joining in, and there's quite a few joining in, and the kit I am going to be building is the Revel Porsche Carrera Cabrio from Revel in 1/24 scale. So what I'm going to try and do now, because I've never done an inbox review before, so I'm going to try and do a practice run on this inbox review, and I'd like to some feedback on how we get on. So we are going to turn this camera on, and we shall switch over to this one. So the box, so we have Porsche Carrera Cabrio 1/24 scale by Revel, and looking on the box art, there's some nice detail on the engine, some nice detail on the dash as well. I have been warned that I might want to replace the wheels, and I've also been warned that this glass has a tendency to lose its shape because of the way it sits and it's packed in the box. So I have already opened the box and taken a very quick look. So let's open it up. What do we have first? So out of the box we have instructions. First one here, I think it's just a little safety advice note. What not to do: don't eat it, don't put it in places it shouldn't be, stuff. So, little safety warning, always read it just in case there is something pertinent. And then we have the main instructions themselves. So we have a little bit of bump about the Porsche Carrera Cabrio, so a little bit of information, and again we have some warnings of things to do and things not to do. We have a legend of what each of the symbols in the magazine means as well. So and then we have the colours used, shout out with the colours on this side, and then we have the sprue callouts and any parts that are not going to be used on the sprues. Next page we then go into assembly, and this will be my first ever car build, so I shall be following these quite religiously, and it's showing to build up what looks like the internals of the car first, and then it looks like the engine block, into suspension, brakes, and then into the exhausts, and getting the wheels on. A little bit more work on the engine there. And on to the next page, again it's onto doing more of the wheel stuff, in the rubber onto the actual wheel itself, and then we're on to the interior, so it looks like getting the seats in, getting the dashboard, the steering wheel, and then onto putting the internals onto the base, and then it looks like it's onto building up the outside shell of the car, getting the bumpers on, and I'm not sure what that is, so we shall have a look when we come to build it. Next page is again continuing with the upper body, getting the windscreens in, getting the wipers on, headlights, mirrors, and then joining the two parts together, and bumpers, the canopy for the roof, and I think that is it. Yes, it then comes out for decals, for a shout out for the decals. It doesn't look like there's a huge amount. There's like the Carrera symbol, the logos from the wheels, and I would have thought there would have been some stuff for the dashboard, but it probably is there, it's just not showing it on that part of the instructions. So that is instructions. So what is inside? Let's take a look at the plastic. So first out of the bag is the clear parts and the decals. So let's have a look. Was there any parts for the dashboard on the decals? Yes, it was the dials and everything there. And then we have all the Porsche logos, and we have a huge amount of number plates, and this looks like decals for the brake pads for the drilled air holes. So interesting. So that is the decals. Then we have the clear parts. We have front windscreen, and looks like we have a panel for the back on the Porsche itself, and then we have headlights, rear lights, and the distortion on that sounds like I know what I'm talking about. I've seen other people do this, and they'll look at the distortion in the headlight in the you can see that actually distorts quite a bit. Now I'm not going to know get my teeth out. I'm not going to know what the fit is like until we actually come to put it. So it's not looking like there's much flash or anything on that, so not much cleanup required. So for a first time look, for someone that doesn't really know car kits very well, that seems reasonably good. So always keep the clear parts in the bag so you don't scratch them. We'll put the decals in there as well so we don't lose those. So what do we have next? Next we have what look like the rear bumpers, and looks like the engine cover, front grille, and wing mirrors, door handles, some parts for the engine, and some other bits and pieces on there as well. And again, there is some flash on there on these parts here, but not a huge amount, reasonably clean. So what's next? Next we have, it looks like we have the rear part, the rear canopy cover for the convertible roof. Looks like the main part of the engine block, and it looks like part from underneath the car as well, and again some more engine and some more other bits and pieces. I'm not sure what they are, but again reasonably clear of flash. There is a very small amount around some of the edges, but looks okay. So that's that part. Next we have the wheels. I've not taken these out of the bag, so we will do that now. These are chrome coated. And they don't look too bad. I will probably wash them off anyway and respray them with another colour. We shall see. So again, the detail is not too bad. But I've seen other folks, when they've taken the chrome detail off things like wheels or engine parts, there's actually a lot of hidden detail underneath the part because this chrome coating is quite thick. So we shall wash those off and take a look. So now we have the main sprue here, which has the main big parts on. So we have the floor pan of the whole model itself, or the car. We have the internal cockpit. We have wheels. Just a little bit of flash on the edges of those wheels. We have the dashboard. Some more internals, the door cards, engine parts, suspension parts, some of the floor of the car again where the wheels and everything connect to, and we have the disc brakes and window wipers, other parts. Again, there's little bits of flash and there's not a huge amount of detail, but the detail that is there is pretty good. So that is the main sprue. Then we have the rubber wheels. Again, I've not taken these out of the bag yet. So 4 rubber wheels, and they don't look too bad at all. I've seen somewhere people have reviewed them, they've got a seam right down the middle of the tyre, but these, there is no seam down the middle of that tyre. So that's good. So yeah, 4 rubber tyres. To the back, and last but not least is the main body of the car. So looking at this, it doesn't look too bad. Again, there's some bits of flash around the windscreen section, and there's a little bit of damage to the front of this part here. I don't know whether this is normal, and I'm not sure whether that will be covered up by the front bumper. If not, then it's going to be some filling and some sanding going on right there. So, and again, some flash around this headlight section and this headlight section. By comparison to some of the armour things I've looked at, that's pretty much non-existent. So that is everything that is inside the box. Overall, that doesn't look too bad at all. There's quite a reasonable amount of parts. I think the part count for this kit was, I think, just over 100. I can find it. Oh no, 93 components in this kit, so not a huge amount of bits, and which is thankfully going to be a good thing because it's only a month in this build. So that is that review. So I'm going to stop the camera here and we shall go back here. So that was my first in-box review stroke look at a kit, and it doesn't look too bad. So let me know in the comments how I did first time. I've literally just talked through what's in the box, looked at the instructions, gone through each sprue, and just following what other people have been doing. So hopefully it's not too bad. So that is that. So what else do we need to talk about? So the builds are ongoing. The Menking Tiger at long last got its gloss coat yesterday, so we should be on to weathering that maybe tonight or tomorrow, but back to work tomorrow. So, and the Y-wing build is very close to completion, so hopefully there'll be no more pictures posted up on the ISM forums until it is complete and we give the final reveal pictures for that. We have gone ahead and we have started King Tiger. That is currently at that stage. So most of the back section is done. Most of the top section is done. There are no tools or anything on there yet. They are still to be added. And that is as far as we've got with that. So last but not least, I want to give a few shout outs to, first of all, we'll get this out of the way. First of all, first shout out to Paul and all the ISM live crew. I want to say thank you very much for having me on the live show for the Q&A. It was interesting and very, very different, and Brett was quite gentle with me, which was nice. So thank you, gentlemen, it was a pleasure. If you ever need my services again, you know where I am. And a few shout outs to some other folks, some people I watch on the YouTube. First of all, I'd like to shout out to Tony. We know you're busy, pal, but hopefully you will start to post some stuff up on your own channel again soon. That's Tony at Helgen35. You know who you are, sunshine. A few other folks I'd like to shout out to. There's Alan Fallon out there. He's just starting up his YouTube channel. He's posted something this afternoon, which was the C1 metallizers. It just shows you how easy and simple they are to use. Go check that video out. It's really, really good. Short and sweet, but it shows it exactly what it needs to show you, and I didn't think that stuff was that easy to use, but now I do. So who else is there? How could I possibly forget? There is, of course, Mr. Chris Walters over the pond. So Chris again has now got himself his new camera, and he has, it looks like on this last video he's managed to find a reasonably good angle to place it at, and he did an unboxing review of a BF109, which was pretty good, and there was a few little snippets of information in there. So Chris, keep it up, and hopefully the pair of us will soon be able to get onto the Millennium Falcon build together. We'll do some sort of, hopefully, body builds type sort of thing where we can both record and get stuff up onto YouTube. So who else could there be? A quick shout out to Motty's Models. Steve, you know who you are, fellow Vale fan. Doing okay so far, pal. So keep up the good work, keep building them models. Who else are we going to shout out to? Who else is out there that we watch on a regular basis? You've got all the members of the live crew. They don't need shouting out, everyone knows who they are. And a quick shout out to Mark over at the Sprue Surgeon. Keep them videos like that last one, Mark. That was really, really well done. A lot more energy in the way you presented yourself. It was much better. Keep making videos like that, and the channel will grow, hopefully. Same as this one, hopefully. We shall see. Excuse Pooch. He's growling at people outside. So that is me done for this video. So as always, thank you very much for watching. Be good, be safe, most of all keep making models, and we shall catch you next time. Ta-ta.